Okay, so the first time you do one of these types of trig questions, it can seem a bit strange because you're required to draw the triangle. So it says f is a right-angled triangle and cos f is 6/11. So it's kind of like a backwards question. They've given you the trig ratio, you have to draw the triangle for them. Right, so does it matter what type of triangle you draw as long as it's right-angled? No, not at all. Do you know what? Let me draw a darker color. Okay, and your right angle. Okay, so once you draw any old right angle triangle, it's fine for the purpose of this question. Okay, so a couple of things. I need to put in cos f equals 6/11. So that means that I have an angle f somewhere. Okay, so you have a choice to put, you can't put your angle f here because that's the right angle. Okay, so f can be here or here. And it doesn't matter which of the two you put into it because we will label our sides opposite and hypotenuse with respect to that angle f. Okay, so you know what? Maybe I'll do it two triangles so you can see which way you go. Okay, so here on the left, I am going to call that my angle f. Okay, so let's label some sides. So here's my hypotenuse. Ugh. My hypotenuse. He is opposite the angle, so therefore he's adjacent. Okay, and then cos f, so silly old Harry caught a heron trawling off America. Okay, so cos f is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And we know from the question it's equal to 6/11. So that means that my adjacent is length 6 and my hypotenuse is length 11. So my adjacent is 6, my hypotenuse is 11. Okay. Now, why have I another one over here? Because you would have been perfectly okay to say that was f, which means that it's this side down here we would call opposite. This side would be adjacent, and this would be hypotenuse. And we don't really know which of these two versions is correct. It doesn't matter for the purpose of this question, as long as it's the adjacent side that you say is length 6 and the hypotenuse you say is length 11. So you can see, depending on where I put my f, your opposite and adjacent positions change. So when I say that the opposite and adjacent is with respect to where you place this angle, that's what I mean. If you place the angle here, this is opposite and this one is adjacent. If you place f here, this is opposite, this is adjacent. Okay, I'm just going to move silly old Harry up here for me. It's equal to 6/11. Okay, just so I can rub this bit off because I need to find sine f. Okay, so sine f then from silly old Harry is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so I know my hypotenuse is 11, but I don't know what my opposite is. Okay, so how do I find it? Well, I don't know any angle, but I do know two sides. So you use Pythagoras' theorem, where your hypotenuse squared is equal to, doesn't matter which side is your opposite and your adjacent. So 11 squared is 121 is equal to 36 plus b squared minus 36 from both sides. On my calculator, 121 minus 36 is 85. And so b is equal to the square root of 85, which is a rotten number, 9.2. Or give your answer in third form. Okay. So square root of 85 is 85. Okay, so let me tell you what happened there in my brain, okay? So when I saw root 85 and I didn't get a nice answer for it, at the back of my head, I'm going, God, did I make a mistake? So I double checked all of these again, okay? And then I came up here to see what my answer was in. And the second I saw third form, I went, no, they're expecting a third. So therefore my answer is probably right. So sometimes this chat that puts us off in questions, sometimes we can use it to our advantage. And that was one case where now I feel, yes, I probably have done it right because I've got a third. So all is good. So square root of 85 just for a normal number is 9.2, okay? And that would make sense. So just for a second, I'm going to put, so that's root 85. I'm going to put 9.2 in a bracket for a second because I want to explain something else to you that gives me confidence that my answer is right. The longest side in a triangle is always the hypotenuse. It's always opposite the largest angle. Okay, so my hypotenuse will always be the longest side. So because I found the length of this side to be less than 11, in other words, it's 9.2, again, I figure I'm right. I've put the right thing in for C, A, and B, okay? So that's another good check. So that's why I hit the decimal just to see what it was. Okay, so to continue with the question, I need sine F. So sine F, we know, is opposite over hypotenuse. We know that from here. So sine F is equal to opposite root 85 over 11. And does it want us to find F the angle? No, it wants us to find sine F. Okay, so in fact, that's your full answer. Okay, if I had been asked for F, and again, I'll put it in brackets, to find F, we would use sine inverse. It's always the inverse if I have to find an angle. But I wasn't asked for that in this case. I was told to find sine F. So I'm done.